Welcome to the Speaking of Writers podcast. I'm Steve Richards. On this episode, we're joined by William Kent Krueger, New York Times bestselling author, and the award-winning voice behind the beloved Cork O'Connor mystery series, praised as, quote, a master class in suspense and atmospheric storytelling. His latest novel, Apostles' Cove, finds Cork O'Connor revisiting a haunting case from his past, one involving an Ojibwe man imprisoned decades earlier for a brutal murder he may not have committed. As Cork reopens the investigation, old secrets resurface, new bodies begin to appear, and a chilling legend, the Windigo, casts its shadow over Tamarack County. William Kent Krueger is also the author of Ordinary Grace, winner of the Edgar Award for Best Novel, along with This Tender Land, The River We Remember, and more than 20 acclaimed Cork O'Connor mysteries. He joins us now to talk about justice, memory, myth, and what it means to confront the past. Kent, welcome to the Speaking of Writers
Pleasure
podcast.
to be with you, Steve.
It's great to have you here. So Apostles' Cove revisits a case from Cork O'Connor's earliest days as a sheriff. What drew you to explore Cork's past in this way now?
Gosh, I wish I could tell you exactly why I decided to do this. Actually, the idea just kind of came to me, and of Cork having done something that, in his own opinion, is really a cardinal sin for a law enforcement officer, helping to incarcerate someone who was, in fact, not guilty. And I thought, okay, I love to put Cork through the ringer. He gets beat up all the time, and he's been stabbed and shot. And I thought, okay, this time let's put him through the emotional ringer, because he's a guy who believes profoundly in a strong moral compass. And I thought to myself, if Cork believes that he maybe had a hand in sending an innocent man to prison, oh, wouldn't that work hell on his conscience? So I loved the idea. And when the idea came to me, it actually came to me in two parts. I knew it was going to be written from the perspective of 20 years before, when Cork was sheriff and conducted the initial investigation. And then we would come forward 25 years. To the present day, when Cork decides to reinvestigate to figure out what he got wrong, if in fact he did get anything wrong.
Cork's son
It seemed like a natural structure for the story.
Cork's son Stephen plays a crucial role here, challenging his father's actions from decades ago. What interested you about placing Cork under moral scrutiny from his own family, too?
Well, conflict is what drives great stories, Steve. We all know this. Every storyteller knows this. And you can achieve conflict in all kinds of ways. And conflict and suspense are basically the same thing. And so, conflict in the community is one that I've explored many times, cultural conflicts. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting this time to see the conflict in the O'Connor household as Cork decides to once again reinvestigate. So, it appealed the hell out of me.
Kent, one of my favorite characters in this book is Aphrodite.
Oh,
how did you
what a witch. Oh,
what
my
a
God.
witch. Oh,
she is one of the most classically evil characters I have ever created.
and how did you create her?
I get asked how I do things all the time, and I'm not sure I can deconstruct my process. I knew I needed a foil. I knew I needed somehow for this ancient murder to have occurred, and I needed someone to be involved in it who might be behind things or might not be behind things. And as I began to write that initial part of the story, that 25 years earlier, I came up with the character of Aphrodite, and the more I wrote her, the more I explored the possibilities of Aphrodite, the more interesting and complicated she became to me.
Especially at the Shangri-La.
Oh boy, Shangri-La, a place named for heaven that is in fact hell.
Justice, especially for Indigenous communities, has long been central to the Cork O'Connor series. How does Apostles' Cove deepen or complicate that conversation, do you think?
Well, one of the issues I deal with all the time, because I deal significantly with the Ojibwe culture in my work, is the divide between justice for white people and justice for indigenous people. And it is a very real and very significant divide, particularly when you're talking about rural jurisdictions. And this one fits in there pretty well because when an Ojibwe man looks as if he might have committed the murder, of course, everyone white jumps on the bandwagon. Um, and the Ojibwe people then take an opposite stand for the most part. So it was an opportunity to take a look at justice from both a white perspective and justice from an indigenous perspective, which is always for me an important thing to deal with.
The Windigo legend looms over the novel through Cork's grandson. Why was it important to include myth and folklore alongside a grounded criminal investigation?
Because that's what I do, Steve. I have used the myth of the Wendigo many times in the stories because it's a powerful myth and one that really says a lot about who we are as human beings. Um, we battle monsters all the time, particularly the monsters of greed, which is something the Wendigo certainly represents. Um, is the Wendigo real? Is it mythical? God only knows.
Your books are often praised for their atmosphere, as you describe the setting and the season. It's Halloween here in this book, Halloween approaching. Um, how does it shape the tension in this story, the atmosphere and setting?
You know, Halloween is my favorite non-religious celebration.
I could tell.
Uh, yeah. I decorate the house, the yard significantly every Halloween, and just love the night of Halloween when the kids come knocking at the door. And if you're looking at atmosphere, creating atmosphere with ghosts and goblins and devils and demons, what a perfect way to introduce those elements into your story because it's so natural at Halloween, and to then ruminate on all of those spirits, both good and evil, that that may in fact surround us.
With more than 20 Cork O'Connor novels, how do you keep the series feeling fresh while staying true to its core?
The best decision I made with from the very first novel, Steve, was to create a cast of characters who would age and change across time, across the course of I just finished the 22nd novel in the series, and the characters have aged about almost 20 years now. And so when I began the series, Cork was a man of about 40, his early 40s. He's in his early 60s now. He had young children who have grown, established lives of their own. He's a grandfather. And every time I sit down to write a new story in the series, I'm not writing about the same people I wrote about last time. Things have happened that have changed them, changed how they see themselves and their relationship to the world, changed how they see the relationship to one another. So it's an ongoing journey of exploration in terms of what time and experience does to us all. And that's certainly what keeps the writing process interesting for me. I haven't tired of writing the Cork O'Connor stories. I haven't grown tired of dealing with Cork and all of the people that surround him. And I believe that's one of the things that keeps readers interested is, okay, they're trying to figure out who is Cork now? What's happened? What's changed? Can we rely on Cork to remain the same man he's always been and those around him to be the people they've always been? So there you go. One more element of suspense.
What do you hope readers take away from Apostles' Cove beyond the mystery itself?
That that justice is something we should never stop striving for, even if we sometimes get it wrong. That moral compass always ought to point toward our pursuit of those, our pursuit of what is guilt and what is innocence, and never let the color of our skins, our cultural inclinations, our ethnic groups dictate how we view justice.
Ken, what's the Minnesota setting you return to again and again for inspiration?
Yes, the great north country of Minnesota. There's an area up north we call the Arrowhead, and in it is some of the most beautiful forest land you could ever want to hike through or canoe through. The Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness is a setting I use often in my stories. It's 1 million acres of pristine forest, clean lakes, fast-running rivers, and it provides such a wonderful natural, spiritual backdrop for the story. So the Boundary Waters in particular, but the Great North Country in general, provides a lot, just a terrific regional backdrop to the stories, one in which I can, really sink the reader into a sensual experience. There are a lot of people who've never been to Minnesota, and so when I give them the North Country, they think of it as an exotic place, an exotic experience, and I love that. I love hearing from readers who say, "I've never been there, but your stories make me want to come." And then I encourage them, "Yes,
Hmm.
come to Minnesota. It will astonish you."
What is the best thing about being an author?
Well, I love the adulation I get. This last year, I did about 90 in-person events across the country, which was exhausting as hell. But Steve, who doesn't want to go someplace where people have gathered to tell you how much they like your work? So there's that. Writing has been my passion my whole life. I can't imagine a time when I'm not creating a story of some kind. You know, I'm often asked, "Are you ever going to stop writing?" And my response is, "Yeah, only when they pull the pen out of my cold dead hand. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's when I'll stop writing because this is, aside from my wife and my family, this is what I love most in the world."
And what is next for you and your writing?
Well, I've just finished let's see, it'll be number 22 in the Cork O'Connor series, a book called God's Country. One of the most different stories I've written for the Cork O'Connor series. It's scheduled for release August, I think, 18th. And when I have wrapped up the final edits for that, and I'm pretty close to that, I'll return to work on a standalone novel that I've been composing for the last 2 years. Probably have one more year left, and I think that'll be what comes out next after God's Country.
William Kent Krueger, author of the powerful new Cork O'Connor mystery, Apostles Cove. The novel is available now wherever books are sold. Kent, thank you so much for joining me.
Always a pleasure, Steve. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching and listening to the Speaking of Writers podcast. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, write a review. I'm Steve Richards. I'll talk to you again next time.